Army generals.
Shout out to Hate Army.
Your name is Hate Army? Saying Hate Army shit.
Hate Army shout out.
Good vibes to the Hate Army.
Shout out for hate.
The one news story for today is a follow-up on the Activision Blizzard purchase acquisition by Microsoft. So as you know, they have been trying to buy Activision Blizzard for a while. And it's been in court, it's been with these regulatory bodies. And essentially what's happened is, one body, this UK regulatory body, whoever they are, have said they feel that this should not go through because of something about cloud gaming. Now, the funny part about that is cloud gaming is in its infancy. You saw things like Google Stadia attempt cloud gaming and fail miserably. There are instances of people who use cloud gaming, but it's definitely not anything, Headphone users, do you hear that noise? What noise? Nothing. There's no noise. There is literally no noise unless you just hear an air conditioner. So I don't know why some people are bringing it up. You hear anything? Nothing. It's air, right? Okay, thank you. I don't know. People are being stupid. Anyway, so this regulatory body seems to want to hold up this purchase because of cloud gaming.
That's total crap. Who told you that?
But then when you get down to the nitty-gritty of it and you break it down into their analysis, the things they're saying are preposterous. Like they're saying everyone who is a subscriber of Game Pass is a cloud gamer. What? That's not even true. But that's what their analysis broke down. They're believing that Microsoft has this certain amount of cloud gamers, and because if they buy Activision Blizzard now, somehow this has something to do with holding back cloud gaming. It doesn't even make sense. Like from a business perspective and a technology perspective, the things they're saying make no sound sense. But they're a regulatory body in the UK, and somehow they might actually hold up this purchase, even though they're completely uninformed on the subject. It's pretty hilarious, isn't it? So this morning, the overall European Union, who's basically everyone in Europe except the UK, came out and said, we are stamping the seal of approval on the Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard on the premise that any games from Activision Blizzard that are owned by Microsoft, which is all of them, will eventually be available on the cloud, and those cloud versions of the games would be able to be played on other devices, so that it won't lock those games into only Microsoft exclusive consoles and or platforms. So I guess what they're saying is, let's say you put Call of Duty on the cloud, well, eventually you could stream that on a PlayStation. If that ever even happens, because right now, cloud gaming on PlayStation is incredibly basic. You take a look at the games that you can cloud game on PlayStation, and they're few and far between. The ones that you can actually play, they're pixelated. Like, for example, when I was playing Infamous, right? I played cloud gaming Infamous when I had PS Plus Premium last year. You could still play the game, but it definitely had some issues, a little bit of input lag, and some pixelization in the graphics. For the most part, though, I was impressed. I actually thought that it was a pretty good representation of what the game would play like on PS3, except for the graphics. Like, everything else seemed fine and playable. It was just the graphics that were a little annoying because it wasn't as defined or clear as if you were actually playing it physically on your PS3. But outside of that, I thought that it was a pretty good experience. Now, I guess what will happen is eventually cloud gaming will advance. And if what they're saying is, let's say in 5 years, cloud gaming has gotten to the point where now you can play really great versions, and if anyone actually wants to cloud game Call of Duty or, Overwatch or whatever it may be, they'd be able to do that, and because of that, essentially all of those games that are exclusive because they were bought by Microsoft would be able to be played on other consoles anyway. Therefore, the deal is fine and the deal should go through. So, the European Union directly addressing cloud gaming, saying, yes, let the deal go through. So now will the UK budge? Or will the UK be obstinate and be like, oh no, we still feel like, even though it seems like they don't even understand the technology because they're so focused on cloud gaming that no one is using. How can you say that everyone who has Xbox Game Pass is a cloud gamer? That's completely false. The vast majority of people are downloading the games onto their consoles and playing locally. They are not cloud gaming these games Their statistics are completely wrong. So we'll see what happens, but the good news is, for those who wanting this acquisition to go through, the European Union stamping it okay is a good positive step forward, and a good sign that maybe other regulators will now even start to loosen up and say, okay, maybe we were a little off base, and start to approve it. I don't know. It's just funny because we started talking about this, 2 years ago? And we're 2 years in, and we're not even any closer to having this thing approved or going through. It's just crazy how the business world works, isn't it? How, like, you could wait years and years and years for progress on something as stupid as, I just want to buy a company. Too bad. Wait 17 years. By the time you buy the company, maybe video games will be obsolete. Like, Jesus. Money.
I use a combination of lies, manipulation, cheating, stealing, gaslighting, bullying, insulting, and flexing.